Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your buddy Uncle Bruce here for the afternoon show. It's 3 o'clock Eastern Time, Monday, March the 7th. We're here for the final hour of trading today, and it doesn't look great, does it? It doesn't really look all that great at all. The Dow is off 657 points. Gotta say, this Dow average has been kind of hanging around here for
Great at all.
The Dow is off
Boy, a couple hours.
like hour and a half, 2 hours. We have not really dropped much. We haven't been much higher than this. We've been in this, 900 to 32,900 to 32,950 range now. Really, since oh gosh, what would this be? About noon today, noon. So a little attempt at a rally, then come back, attempt a rally, then we're back. We're still here at 32,960 down 654, and we're not recovering from here at all at this point. Looking at S&P, we're down 105 points. It's down 2.5%. It's doing worse than the Dow actually. And Nasdaq down 2.9%, though the big loser, down 389 points. And I'm surprised to see this in a way because this morning it was the best performer and it was positive. We were up on the morning. But not to be, unfortunately. 663-point drop on the Dow. The stocks that we follow the most, Rocket Lab for the first time today, just as I'm starting to come on the air, down a penny. Just went negative for the first time all day. It dropped here about 12 cents in the last 5 minutes. It was up 11 cents, and it's now 838 on about 5.9 million shares. Rocket Lab over on SoFi, it also has had a drop off in the last 15-20 minutes from the 988 range. So it was only down like 12 cents on the day, now to 966, down 34. This is about the low of the day, all in the last 10-15 minutes. So the markets in the last few minutes have actually backed off on a bunch of stocks. Bad timing for me, I guess. 1250 drop on GameStop at 99.16 a share. The low was 98.89 around 1:30 today. We rebounded a little to about 101.63, but now we're back to $99 on 2.4 million GameStop today. Not heavy, but a little more active than lately, but not heavy. AMC is off 121. It's taking it on the chin for sure. 1535 right now on 31.4 million. Absolutely no upside showing at all. It's just going off. Matterport is down 2 cents. It had been green almost all day today, hitting at $1.724 for the high. Right now, 683 down 2 cents is where we're at on 6.9 million. 23andMe is holding a 35.5-cent gain at 410 a share. High today, 417 on ME, 5.6 million. It's doing all right. Spire is interesting here. It was sitting around 205, 204 at 1:30 today. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it went up to 218. It went up like 14 cents. So it was up 17 cents on the day. No announcement. 1.2 million traded. It's holding right now at 210, up 9.5 cents. But I have no reason for it. But it just shot to 218, like no resistance, no nothing. It just was going. Ran some stock finally. We'll see what happens. No news. I have nothing coming out of there. ATIP. There was news this morning, I should say, on Spire. There was an announcement that they formed they called it a strategic partnership with some kind of an outfit. I don't, unless I see a dollar sign with that announcement, I don't know what that means. Is this just we're going to work together and help each other out? Like, where's this? Just here, hello. Money makes the stock goes higher, makes the stock go higher. I don't know. ATIP, by the way, 171 down 9 cents. The low of the day, 170. All-time low, 170. This stock's at its all-time low again, 933,000 shares. Very frustrating. Smart Rent, 591, up 11. It has been green all day, holding its own. 1.5 million traded on Smart Rent, up 11 today at 591. And Sextera, 1150, down 65 cents. A few moments ago, it was as high as 1166, but it gave up 16 cents again. The low, 1091 today. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't look right. I think that's a misprint. It looks like it was the low was about 1141, and we're at 1150 right now. So something got mixed up on Sextero's quote. 1150 last trade down 65. Robinhood is down 57 cents. Sorry, is up 57 cents, but down from its high levels of the day. Vanik Vectors is at its low of the day, or about down $10.80 to 244.55, within 15 cents of its low of the day. Um, computer, there's just chip prices. For whatever reason, Ukraine tensions caused chip prices to go down. This makes no sense to me. When you have a military conflict, the need for chips just skyrockets, and the civilian need for chips has been skyrocketing. There's a backlog of orders. I don't know how many of these stocks can be down if they're drowning in orders. I don't get it. I understand supply chain problems. I understand all that. But at the end of the day, the backlog of orders that these guys are sitting on, and every chip they crank out and ship out is pre-sold. Is there's no collection problems, no problem. There's no pricing problems. Maybe their input costs are a little higher, but they can raise the price on chips like that. I just don't understand why it has to be so dramatic. This is really off to me. Um, I'm old school, and I'm thinking, hey man, I can raise my price, and I tell you when the product's available, and the orders just keep coming in, and it's billions of dollars in back orders. I don't know why my stock would go down. I don't see it. There's an overreaction here. The market is not getting something here. It's just, man, it's weird. We're down 11 now, 1104 on Banning. Home Depot down 274. IBM down 25 cents. Nothing much there. Microsoft down $9 at 280 bucks, 281 right now. It's as low as 279 today. The stock right now at this price is trading at 29.9 times earnings. So the average earning PE multiple for the S&P 500 is 19.9, about 20. So this stock is 50% higher on a PE multiple than the S&P 500. That's true. But this company is not expected to earn 8% more money this year. This company has been earning every quarter 25 to 30% more money than the year before. So these guys are growing at double, triple the S&P 500 estimated rate of growth in net profits, not gross sales, not potential sale, net money in the bank. So that's why this stock has a 29.9 PE multiple. And it is possible that this could trade at 32 to 35 times PE multiple, because when the next quarter does come forward, when their next result comes out, probably in about 9 weeks, they will likely be showing a 25 times earnings multiple, because you're going to take out a year ago's last quarter, add the new quarter, that's your next, then just go back 4 quarters from the next quarter back, and your numbers are higher. Just me though. Anyway, it's under pressure. Apple down $2.90, $1.60, $160.26. 160.28. Down $2.90 on Apple. This is the low of the day ballpark here. And again, I use these opportunities to buy deep in the money calls. Instead of picking up 130 money deep in the money calls, you pick up 120s. Or instead of picking up 120s, you pick up 110s. Instead of 110s, you pick up 100. And you go from there. I was taking a look at Apple over the weekend about the idea of buying Apple shares, buying options on Apple, and then writing covered calls against the shares. And I found that in the $4,000 to $5,000 neighborhood, you could acquire contracts of Apple call options in the money, quite a ways in the money, that are 90% or more book value and less than 10% premium, time premium. And I was looking at the different contracts you could write against Apple. Again, this is based on Friday's close, not today's activity, obviously, because I was doing this on the weekend. But I was just extrapolating it out, and I was sitting there going, you can make easily between, I'd say $4 and $6 a month on Apple premiums, just on shrinkage of contracts on Apple. And I thought, man, if you put up $4,000 and could make $600 a month on $4,000, it's 15% return per month on your Apple. And I thought, yeah, you get 10 of these things, and you're bringing in $6,000 a month in revenue, just on $40,000 bucks. You're putting up to $50,000 you're investing in Apple contracts, you're going to bring in 6,000 a month in revenue. That's a lot of households in the United States and Canada. This is 6,000 American money. A lot of households live on less than that. And for a lot of folks out there who watch me and are studying what I talk about, 6,000 a month is definitely a certain one person's income if it's a two income household. I mean, there's a lot of two income households where you know both are making 5, 6, 7,000 a month, gross before tax. Well, if you guys can haul in 6,000 a month on capital you already have of 40 to 50,000, that could literally eliminate a job, and one of you can stay home. Now, if you've got kids, wow, what a difference this would make, because all of a sudden you're eliminating costs off of your lifestyle. I mean, the childcare costs could come way down, even if it's part-time childcare costs. Commuting costs will drop off dramatically, and on it goes. And all of a sudden, you might find it. Yeah, I get paid 8,000 at work. Here I get 6,000, but the 2,000 difference is pre-tax money, not after-tax money. So the after-tax we're talking about is maybe $1,200. I would save more than $1,200 if I didn't have to go to work and put the kids in daycare. I'd save more than that. So actually, making 6,000 at home versus working and making 8,000 at work, I'd be richer if I stayed at home. Net to me. And I was just looking at a scenario where if you have a home, a $500,000 house, a $600,000 house, depending on where you live, obviously, and not everyone does, but if you have equity in your home of $150,000 and you borrow 60,000 against it, you used 50,000 of it to buy call options on Apple, deep in the money calls, and wrote calls against them. You're bringing in 6,000 a month on that. There should be no trouble handling that new loan you just took out for $60,000. That shouldn't be a problem. Bringing in 10% a month on that money, replacing your job, or getting rid of the full-time job and saying goodbye, sayonara, and taking on a part-time job from home, making maybe $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month from home, and doing this trading on the side, and perhaps not having other expenses. If you have children, that's one thing. If you don't, you don't. Life changer, absolute life changer. Anyway, think about that this weekend. Anyway, lots to go over here. Apple 307, 160 a share. Goldman Sachs down 766, 322. This is where you look at buying deep in the money calls on Goldman Sachs if you can get them at, if you can afford them at 250, 260, 270, 280. You want to pick them off way down there. This stock in the last 52 weeks has been as high as 426. It's trading at 322. The PE multiple of Goldman Sachs, 5.4. So sooner or later, this stock, it just doesn't go any lower. It just doesn't go any lower. I mean, you just do not drop that much more when you're at 5.4 times PE. But today it's down $7. I'll grant you that, $7.60. Cisco down 56 cents at 55.96, 1% drop. Facebook, 11.32 drop at 188. Amazon down $156 today at 27.56. Tesla down 31. Google down 103 to $2,538 on Google. Bed Bath Beyond up $3.95 still, but it's only up $3.95 after having climbed to $30 this morning. It's now trading at $20.13. The low was $19.21. It backed off all the way to $19.21. And so, it's up today, but it isn't up like it was in the pre-market. We were at $35 this morning on the pre-market. Yikes, has that come back off? All kinds of arguments being made about, the validity of Ryan Cohen going into this stock. Talking about, he's not committing to become a board member of the company. He's just talking about being a shareholder. But it's likely he'll nominate some people to the board from his RC Ventures. And then he's talking about, some changes in the company and some new direction and this kind of thing. But no real deep specifics. And then some of these articles are kind of comparing what he's doing at GameStop to what he's talking about doing at Bed Bath & Beyond. And some are saying this is good for GameStop. Some are saying this could be bad for GameStop because his attention is going elsewhere. Others are saying, no, no, he's not resigning as chairman of GameStop. He's not even going to take on a role of a director at Bed Bath and Beyond. So actually, it's his RC Venture, company with a bunch of employees they've decided as a committee to buy into that company. Not with Ryan Cohen personally involved on a minute-to-minute, day-to-day basis. So perhaps he'll designate a couple of RC people to, you know, become involved in that company a little bit more. Where the hope for him is that the shares will react positively and go higher. I'm amazed that the shares aren't actually higher because we've seen over 95 million trade today. That's the float. That's the entire float that's turned over today. But this goes to show you folks out there who are wondering how this market works. In plain English, what I'm trying to tell you is this: 60 million of this volume is probably just turnover. So, somebody buys 1,000 shares at one price and tries to sell it for 10 cents higher on a quick flip, and is trying to do this all day long. And there are others who are shorting 1,000 shares trying to buy it back 10 cents lower on a flip, a reverse flip. And this volume that's going back and forth just piles it up, piles it up, piles it up. So it gives you the appearance that, oh my God, 95 million traded. That's incredible. Yeah, but we're talking about 10, 20, 30 million shares that are actually in play. It could well be, too, that a lot of people who bought this stock at 25 to 30 this morning have been dumping it already and getting out. They're just going, I'm getting killed here. This thing isn't going up. I'm out of here. And they're just dumping it back. So they got in. Someone sold it to them. Now they're getting out. The person that sold to them is buying it back at a lower price, going, okay, I'll just buy it back here. And there's this in and out, out and in and out, out and in going on. Huge turnover. $20 a share right now, last trade on Bed Bath & Beyond. Absolutely amazing. Just amazing. For GameStop, down $15 a share. Not good for GameStop today. This is not a good day for GameStop on this move. I kind of thought this morning it could be a good move because a meme stock is going to get hot, and meme stocks in general would get hot. They get a lot of press out of it. I figured AMC might go up a couple of bucks, might go to $17, $18. It's off $1.32. GameStop's off $15. Neither is having a good day today. So I kind of look at that and go, that's really wild and weird trading. It doesn't help, though, that while all this is going on, I mean, of all days that that the Bed Bath & Beyond, of all the days that Bed Bath & Beyond has to announce that Ryan Cohen has bought almost 10% of the company, is on the same day that oil hit 130 in the pre-market, and the Dow is now off 744 points. The timing couldn't have been worse. Pick a worse day to do this announcement. You got it right here. So the street does not want to hear it and is not paying attention. And so we're off on the markets right now. Down 718 on the Dow. Still only down 3 cents on Rocket Lab. That is very good performance for a stock that is caught up in this market. Rocket Lab now down 1 penny. Might actually go up again. SoFi down 31 cents to 968. Matterport is off 1 penny. Very good day for Matterport. We're still up 29 cents on the ME, the 23andMe. It's up 29.5. That's exceptional. And Spire is up 9 cents at 210. Also quite exceptional. ATIP is climbing just a little. It's still down 6.5 cents, but it has come back 3.5 cents. It was down a dime. Now it's down 6.5. It seems to be coming on a little bit. 1 million shares traded. Not a great day. SmartRent up 11, holding on, and Sextero still down 58. It was as low as 11. No, I said earlier 1091. Yeah, 1091. It's now back to 1157 or something. Now that can't be right. There's no way, Bruce. No, Bruce. That's not right. 1141 was the low. 1157 is the last trade. Okay, that's a 16-cent recovery. That's okay. We'd like more, please. Go. There you have it, kids. Our markets today, wild and wacky. Guess what's dominating the news? The Ukraine situation and Russia. No question about it. That's still dominating the news. I have got some phenomenal viewers on this channel, and a bunch of these viewers have become members of this channel, which I always thank every time I go live, and thank you for your thank you for those of you who are members of the channel, and those of you who are hitting my thumbs up button, and you let me know what number you are. I thank you so much. Big Daddy is here. D.H. Ruda is here. Thank you. Number 91 and 93. Nelson, he was early. He was number 71. I thank you very much for that, for hitting the thumbs up for us. Okay. And Coyote says, Uncle Bruce, every time one of our stocks gets good news, like bank charter, buyouts, announcements, it's always been during horrible markets. Not shocked by it anymore. It's been kind of lousy since the middle of November when we hit all-time highs. It's just been bad news ever since, hasn't it? Jennifer, I think I'm 99. Bamatha says, I think I'm number 99. Aurora, I think I'm number 5. Way to go. Midnight Adventure, I think I'm 781, buddy. I'm way up there. I've given you 700 thumbs ups. Well, thank you for that. It doesn't show it on the meter, but I do appreciate it. Jinx, says Jennifer. Bama to Jennifer. Jinx. Gaudy, November was so nice. Feels so long ago now. I know. Midnight Adventure is smiling. Thank you. Thank you for being here, everybody. Appreciate it so much. You guys are great. And what can I say? We are... it's all crazy. It's all crazy. What can I say? Yep. Spire announced a partnership with Sierra Nevada Corp on a space services program to address a growing market need for radio frequency collection and analysis. Sierra is a global aerospace and nautical security leader. See? Spire just doing great things. Spire is doing great things, Here we go. Beach Boy got another 20 something at 964 on Spire. Ho. Right on, Beach Boy. Picking it off. Welcome all of you to the show. Glad to have you here. Bama Babe, 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Yeah. Where's Adventures with Duncan? Joanne wants to know what happened to him. 99 Nation videos or me. What's going on? Oh my gosh. Jennifer says, I'm thumbs up number 99.5, actually. I'm a half better than everybody else. Beach Boy, 200. I got 200 more. Right on, buddy. Way to go, Beach Boy. The Dow down to 723 right now. Morocco Lab is down 2 cents. SoFi is back to 970, down 30. GameStop showing down 1454, and AMC down 131. Matterport just went green. It's up a penny. ME is up 31.5 at 406. Spire is up 9.5 to 210.5. ATIP down 6.5. Smart Rent up 14 cents, another bump up, 594. And Sixterra still showing down 54 cents. There you have it. Hello Smith, I'm thumbs up number 121. Howdy all, says Cool Hand Lee. I'm number 120. Right on. Rodrigo is here. Well, what a red day. What can I say? That's true. Rocket Lab just went green. Rocket Lab is plus 1 penny, and the Dow's off 707. The opposite. These are George Costanza stocks. That's what they are. We've got George Costanzas all over the place. They're doing the opposite. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. They're doing the opposite. What can I say? It is what it is. Doing what we can. Austin, you know what? Uncle Bruce, I was looking up those Apple calls over the weekend too. I just bought a $110 expiring Jan 20, 2023. Excited for my first poor man covered call position. Right on, man. Right on. Yeah, I was looking up Apple, and I was looking up Goldman, and I was looking up Microsoft, and then I was looking up our SPACs, our former SPACs, and I was thinking about those stocks, and I was saying to myself, would it be worth anyone's while that is sitting on, like if you're sitting on 1,000 shares of, or whatever number, doesn't matter, but I was thinking in my mind, if you have 1,000 SoFi, or you got 1,000 Rocket Lab, or you've got 1,000 Matterport, or whatever, I thought, would it be worth your while to write out of the money contracts for between 6 months and a year forward, either $15 or $20 contracts, depending on the stock. So I thought SoFi, you'd look at maybe 15s, Rocket Lab 15s, Matterport 15s. Um, or you could look at 20s on either, but I was thinking 15s, and I thought, could you bring in enough money um, now to then use that cash to buy more stock to then write more options? And I was in my mind, I thought, I think you could go from 1,000 SoFi. I bet you could go up to 13 to 1,400 shares of SoFi. So you'd end up with 1,400 SoFi, of which 400 would be bought down here, bringing your average down from the 1,000 you have, now 1,400, lower cost. You've written 15s against all of it. And you're sitting there going, okay, I dare you to come and get me because you just brought in some decent money. You've lowered your price. You're up on the whole thing. Of course, there's always rollovers. If the stock were to go higher, you could always do rollovers. But I was wondering about that on a number of these, and I thought another thought I had was, well, if you could bring in, I think I was looking at 15s because I think the premiums were up to $2 or 190 or something on some of these, not all of these. In any event, whatever contracts they were, if you could bring in $2 cash, I thought if you had 1,000 SoFi and 1,000 Rocket Lab and you owned 1,000 Matterport, bring in $6,000 cash. Use that cash to buy an Apple deep in the money call. You don't even have to use that much, but some of that, almost all of that, 4,500, 5,000. Write calls against the Apple and start bringing in 600 a month in cash on the Apple. You're offering your stock on your SPACs way up here. You're bringing money in now every month, and you're using that money to average into more of these three stocks. So SoFi, you're buying $600 a month of more SoFi. So every month or two, you have another 100 shares, another 100 shares. As long as they're down here, you scoop them up. I was thinking of that. I was just going through all kinds of ideas. DH, Uncle Bruce, I'm trying to roll out of my GameStop April 14, April 14, 130 covered calls. I can possibly roll into a March 18, 100 for a little bit of a profit. Do you foresee GameStop popping prior to the quarterly report? There's the issue. There is the issue. Now, I got to figure, DH, that your April 14 130s, they've got to be backing off even more than when you talked to me about this morning. Because I think this morning you were, I think, weren't you telling me they were kind of like 11, something like that? They were down to near 11, or was it 12? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm looking up GameStop right now. I'm just going to take a look here on the options. So bear with me here. April 14. Okay, you got April's. Okay, so April 130s, all right? So your April 130s, let's see if I can get this to work properly. My iPad is putting up some squawk here. There's March. Let's get April up here. Come on. Work. Go and work. Okay, April 14s. Here we go. There we go. April the 14th, 130 calls. Yeah, well, they're 570 to 675. Am I? Maybe you didn't message me this morning. Maybe it was somebody else that messaged me. It's probably me that's missing out here. So in theory, DH, you've written April 14 130s, and I don't know what you sold them for, but they're now bid. Again, my quote might not be accurate, but I'm showing a bid of 570 to 685. Theoretically, you could buy those back, and you could write 120 calls in the same series for 730 to 860. You could write 110s for the same date, 960 to 1070. So if you could buy back your calls for like $6 and sell the 110s for $10, you'll bring in $400 more with the same date. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two, if you could buy back your calls for $6, and now you were to write April the 8th, just moving up 1 week, 110s will bring you you could get maybe 925, 950 for those. That's a gain again. Coming low, going only down to 110s, but coming in a week. Going further in, come on in a little more, April 1, you could write 110s and probably still get about 825, 850 and still bring in money. You're getting 2 weeks of less time on this deal. Or if you want to go lower to 105s, you could probably get 910 to 1090. You probably get about $10 for those. Now you've moved in 3 weeks closer to time. You're still at 106s or something like that, 105s, 106s. That might be worth your while. I don't know about writing March 18 100s. I don't think you want to write that low. I'm not sure if you want to quite go that low. So, if you're March 25th, a little higher, 105s, you're still staying, ways out, bringing in more money. Thank you very much. You're saying thanks for the extra cash. I'm 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks closer to the expiry, but I'm not right down here at the low end because the stock then is right now down at 98.59. It's down $13. And what I wouldn't want you to do is go down to 100s and then have the stock go up to 105 this afternoon and open at 110 tomorrow because now you got to do a rollover. I don't want you to do that. 99 Nation videos. All stocks I'm hoping to buy are discounting themselves, and the low-cost, long-haul stocks are rising. So it's pretty nutty, but I'm here for it. Hockey rink, yeah, heavy side. Uncle Bruce, thanks for trying to keep us from the edge of the cliff. Midnight, the urge to write covered calls is so hard to resist. It's a horrible time. I'm just going to sit and wait, but I am aching to collect more free money. I found my thing in life. Collecting free money is owning. And Jason Law says, I got number 99 problems. Midnight, Jason Law, if you had one more problem, you could write a covered call against your position. Bobby, if a stock goes down 10%, does it automatically get SSR the next day? I think it does, even the rest of today and the next day. Jen, Midnight Adventure, totally agree. Hate just sitting around. Credit 7. Uncle Bruce, you'll be proud of me. I wrote 2250 covered calls on SoFi for January 2023 and $20 covered calls on Matterport, getting me $2 and $1 a share respectively, and I used that to sell $100 GameStop puts for 3 weeks from now for $11.05 a share. How about that? That's rather interesting. That's an interesting move because that allows you. You're on the hook to buy GameStop at 88.50 or 88 something a share, 88.99 or something like a share for only 3 weeks. Pretty interesting move. That's a very interesting move. I like it. Jason, I'm trying to have less problems, not more. He says, Dave, the Mac guy. Sorry, I'm late. I had to listen to the latest ridiculousness from the Alberta government. 99 Nations. Nano. What's that? Nano Explorer is the only local company doing graphene batteries in the entire U.S. Better to get this discount. This revolutionary tech for the electric vehicle market about to explode. See, that's what 99 likes. Will, Uncle Bruce, I have 14 April 1250 calls that are from a ways back that are in trouble. I also have a fair few July 1250s. I can't write on any of them. I like to get back to writing and acquiring stock. I hear you there. I'm assuming you're talking about SoFi, because I'm just winging it here. So you've got 14 SoFi calls that are in trouble. I also have a few July 12th. I can't write on any because they're in the money. They're not in the money. They're out of the money. I got you. Yeah. You need a pop on the stock. I understand. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I hear you there. What do you expect? What do you think to get back in this game? Put me in, coach. Well, again, theoretically, if you sold them all, at the moment or in around when the stocks were around $10, if you sold them all and you then picked up $9 calls, you could write calls against SoFi. But the problem is that you're right at the edge here of being out of the money. You need to buy really $7.50 calls or $7 calls to have some more downside protection to write calls. The problem is that it's a penny game now. You're dealing with pennies. The contracts that you're selling are worth not a lot. The contracts you have to buy are worth dollars, and the contracts you're going to write are going to bring you pennies. So I don't know if there's enough of a return to make that worth your while, to be honest. On the other hand, if you were to sell off these calls and then turn around and put them all in July, put them into July 10s instead, you won't have as many, but you'll have a certain number of $10 calls to July. And if the shares reach $12 or $13 anytime between now and then, one, they're in the money, so you can write against them. Or two, you'll score a capital gain on them, sell them, roll into December, January calls in the money if you can, and write against those. That might be your plan. Jen, I think I need another one-on-one Uncle Bruce, maybe. Rocker Dave the Mac guy, what did I miss? What's new policy? What new policy has our great leader laid out for us before us? Gavin, how can GameStop drop 12% and only 1.7 million in trading? How can that be? Well, on a day like today, when we're down 700 points, that overhanging, feeling doesn't make it easy for everybody else. It's just been a bad day all around. Oil is still 119.84, up $4, by the way, and Dow's down 729 right now. All right, credits average. The beauty from what I've learned from you, I've averaged down on Matterport to 12 and SoFi at 15, and my covered calls are for a premium and for a 50% to a 200% gain per share. Win-win. We'll use GameStop to buy back. There you go. Gavin, how can GameStop drop 12%? Cindy, Uncle Bruce, do I dare buy back my 342 GameStop for Friday with an 82% profit and sell at 330? What do you think about this? All right, let me take a look at Goldman Sachs. It's 322 a share right now. So, okay. First of all, I love the gain that you're making on the 342.50. I love it a lot. That is a really good move. Lock in that gain, definitely. 322 on the stock right now. If you were to write a 330 for this Friday, I would recommend that's as far as you want to go. I don't think you want to write one for next Friday, maybe just this Friday. I'm not sure what kind of premium you can get, though. I don't know if it's any good. But keep your hand on the trigger. You know what you might want to do? You may want to just buy back your call for this Friday now and lock in that profit. Take it off the table. Wait until tomorrow morning for the first hour of the opening, and let's see how the opening goes. Because if tomorrow morning Goldman pops up to 328 to 330, you might be writing a Friday call at 335 or 40 instead of a 330 call. That might be your better move. But today you can definitely score nice gain on that contract. I'd lock that in. 82%, I'd take that money. Credit average. If things go according to the plan, I will have leveraged my shares to buy 100 GameStop for nothing, or will be making $1,000 every 3 weeks until I get assigned. Win-win-win. Since I'm okay buying GameStop at 89, I'm happy to buy it at 89. You want me to buy your GameStop at 89? I'll buy it off you at 89. There's the attitude right there. Smart move. I like it. Zach, I'm number 141, buddy. Thank you, Zach. Yes, SoFi will. Yeah, I was talking about SoFi, Bruce. I was talking about SoFi. Okay. Credit Savage, anything about 70% gains, you lock in, Cindy. Absolutely. Just grab that right now. Buy it. Say, thank you, me. I have another beautiful job. 715-point down dip on the Dow, 117 on S&P, 432 on NASDAQ. Even on days like today that are bloodbath days or really, depressing days, there are moves you can make to better your account. And some of them are just on display right here. Absolutely on display right here. There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I like the idea. I was saying to myself this weekend, I love the idea that if I had a bunch of SoFi shares and I wrote calls against them for $20 down the road for a very high strike price, or $15 down the road, I like the idea of bringing in a big fat premium on them and then using that cash to buy more SoFi. And that is the shares helping me average down my shares. I just think that's a brilliant move. Now I'm going to take a look here for fun. I'm going to look at January 2023 on SoFi. I'll just see what's going on. Yeah, I think it was the 15th. The 15s on SoFi at this moment, or at least within the last few minutes, the contracts were showing about $1.40 a piece, and the open interest is 47,000 contracts. There's a gazillion of them. The bid ask was 139 to 142, a real nice tight market. But writing these for 140 doesn't scare me, because my thinking is, okay, the shares want to. I take $1,400 on 10,000 shares, or I take $1,400 on 10,000 shares. I take $140 for every contract. If I have enough stock, 600 shares, I can buy another 100 shares of stock. This is a deal to me, and I'll write another contract, bring in another $140. Thank you very much. I'll take this in. If the shares want to stay between 10 and 12 for the next month or so, these will drop to 125. They're not going any higher. I've averaged down my stock because if I'm higher than the $10 price that you're trading at, to 970 trading at, I'm bringing my costs down. Definitely bringing my costs down. I'm happy doing that. There you go. Now, if you use this strategy, let's say you have Rocket Lab and you've got SoFi and you have Matterport, and you write, say, $15 calls on all of them. If you can bring in, I don't know, say $3,000, you use all of that to buy SoFi because it's your primary stock. Let's call that your favorite of them all. You're buying $3,000 of the SoFi uh, again. That's another 300 shares. You write three more calls against those, and you've lowered your average down. And there you are. Again, that's the way you want to do it. You don't have to put it into the same stock you're doing it against. You can put the dough into anything else you want. And if you're going to write poor man covered calls on other stock, you might want to buy, like as I said, Apple, or you might want to buy Cisco shares, Cisco contracts in the money. I bet you can buy deep in the money Cisco's for 1,500 a piece, maybe 1,200 a piece, maybe 1,000 a piece, and now you can write 2, 3, or 4 contracts on Cisco. You know, $200 here, $300 there every few weeks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, need a crooked lamp back there, Uncle Bruce. Straighten this market out. 99 Nation. When Bollinger Bands takes on earthworm patterns. No idea what that means. Beach Boy. Uncle Bruce, a new poll for you. Since GameStop is crashing, should it, one, fire Mr. Coden, fire Bruce, delist, get a new lamp, all of the above? These are complicated poll questions. I just give you yes or no answer poll questions. You guys give me really complicated stuff. Zed, Beach Boy, buy more GameStop. There you go. 99.09 on the GameStop with 19 minutes to go on this day. We're down 741 on the Dow. The Rocket Lab is down 4 cents. SoFi is 969, down 31. 99.24 on GameStop, down 12.43. We've been lower than that. We're down 130 on AMC. Matterport, unchanged. ME up 30. Spire up 8. ATIP down only a nickel now. Smart Rent up 11. Cyxtera down 53. Robinhood is up 60. Vanik is down 1134. Home Depot down 209. IBM down 36. Microsoft down 933. Apple down 310. Goldman Sachs down 759. Cisco down 66 cents. Facebook down 1169. Amazon down $155. Tesla down 31. And Google down 108. Bed Bath Beyond up 577 to 2196. Staging a little rally here late in the day. A little rally on Bed Bath & Beyond coming in right at this moment. How much more there'll be to it, I don't know. 21.96 last trade on BBB1. BlackBerry down 18 cents. Royal Caribbean down 6.36 to 63.24. We're down 193 on Norwegian and 163 on Carnival. Those are down over 10% today. Target down 12.44 from down to 211 now. JP Morgan down 446. Costco still up 356, was higher, but still up on the day. Walmart down 79, but it's coming back. Nvidia down 1450. Oh boy, what a morning, what a day, what an afternoon. Apple, American Airlines down 174 to 1285. They're getting hurt. Airlines getting hurt. Hit. Moderna down $9 to 127. Unbelievable. Intel down a penny. It just announced today that they're filing their IPO for their Mobileye IPO. They're doing an IPO for Mobileye. Don't know about this timing. Hopefully the next month or two when all that's ready to go, we'll be in better shape. I don't know. Rocket Lab unchanged at 840. It doesn't want to go down. Rocket Lab does not want to go down here. SoFi down 29 cents. GameStop 99.84. I think it wants to go back to 100. GameStop wants to go back to 100. Okay, there you go. Yeah. What a market. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you. Unbelievable. Let's see here. I'm looking up Matterport right now. Just for fun. January 23 contracts on Matterport. You can write 10s and get 175 to 195. You can write 1250s for between 140 and 155. You can write 15s for 115 to 120. This is a stock that's at 687. You can buy the stock at 687 and write contracts for January 23 and get 115, 140, or 175, all in the money. 1250 is not quite double your money, and you'll receive $1.40, 145. You get 1,000 shares, you'll bring in $1,450. You can buy another 200, 20% increase in stock, and then write calls on those. Another $280. Probably buy 300 total with the change. Yeah, you can probably get 300 Matterport by writing 1250s. If you wrote 10s and got $1.80 a contract, you get $1,800. You can buy definitely 300 because you'll write the 300s again, the three again, and bring in another 540. You can get 400 shares. Yeah, if you own 1,000 Matterport, you can write 10 contracts now, and then buy 400 shares again and write 400 shares, and it's all paid for. You'd own 1,400 shares for nothing with a $10 price. The problem is, and the situation would be, what would your average price be? Because if your average price now is 15 and you buy 400 more, you're not going to get your average price down below 10. So you're writing a contract with a strike price at a lower price than what you paid for the stock. So it might not be so appealing. On the other hand, cash is cash. If you can bring in money now, 180 on each share you own of a 687 stock, use that $1,800. Say you had 1,000 shares. Again, I'm just spitballing here. If you had $1,800 in your hands, what would you buy right now? And there you go. What would you get your hands on? More Matterport, or would you buy Spire at $2 a share? Would you pick off 900 Spire? That kind of thing. You have to ask yourself that. ATIP 174. Would you pick up 1,000 ATIP down here and just load up on this super cheap paper? There's always that too. I don't know. I'm just looking at all the variables on some of these leaps that can bring in gobs of money. But you're tying up your stock for a certain time frame. You can always buy the leaps back if you need to. If the market starts moving, you can always buy them, roll into higher priced. Yes, you could, but you have to want to entertain that kind of a thought. We are now down 756 on the Dow. We are probably in and around the low of the day. Let me take a look here. Yeah, we're 13 points away from the low of the day here with 13 minutes to go. Yeah, it's not a wonderful close. It's a weak, piddly ass kind of close. We're down 118 on the S&P. We're down 436 on NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ is off 3.3%. It's the loser. The S&P is down 2.7, and the Dow's down 2.2 today. Not great. And that's what we got. That's what we've got. That's where we're at. Okay, let's see here. What else? Uncle Bruce, I've been using that strategy to average down on SoFi and Matterport for months. Went from around 1,000 shares, averaging 20, to 15 average, and almost 3,000 shares. Same with Matterport, and the shares skyrocket. Great. Don't microwave cats. I bought 81 shares of GameStop today from the covered call profit last week. Thank you. BW, Uncle Bruce, the words of the day are not exceptional and quite exceptional. Instead, let's have the words of the day be the 7 words you cannot say by George Carlin. I'm sure he'd have comment on our stocks. Midnight, dude, Matterport had $100 calls at $10 for less than a year. I got myself out because when it was 750-ish, they were going for 150. Let it run up a bit and do a shorter bruh. H. Gregory, hey, Uncle Bruce, thank you for your GameStop advice earlier in the day. I was someone without service, so I am just folding my arms for now. There you are. BW. Say what, Uncle Bruce? You said if SoFi stays between 10 12 for the next couple of months. Don't say that. All those April, May, June, deep and already calls about months ago are also getting smoked. I bought back, and I'm waiting for a 750-ish range to write again, says Midnight Adventures. There you go. Credit Savage, 17.5 Matterport, 123. You can stink bid for 109. This would give you almost 3 times what you paid for in 10 months. No bank anywhere will give you that return on the equity. You can cross your arms and buy back if it rolls over. That's right. Midnight and then buy back. That's right. Charlie, Uncle Bruce, is there any covered call on GameStop that you'd consider selling right now? 110 for this Friday or April 8th are showing a 1075 ask for April. Well, I mean, you can always write. Of course, you can always do a write. The thing is that GameStop, as you guys well know, can move dramatically in a very short period of time. And we bottomed out at 96.10. We're now 99.37 here with 11 minutes to go. But certainly, if you want to write a 110 call for April the 8th, but you're talking a 1 month time frame that you're sitting on. But on the other hand, look, they want to go lower. Those contracts will go lower. If they don't, if the stock doesn't go over 110, the stock goes back to 105, 108, and kind of hangs around a while. These contracts will shrink a little bit over time, but you're going to have to wait 30 days to get this. You might be better off, Charlie, looking at a 2 week contract, not a 4 week contract. Give up a couple of dollars on the top end, but gain 14 fewer days of time to be involved in this trade, and that might be more might work better for you. What is going on with ME? Why is it bucking the market? Don't ask questions like that. 406. Shh. Nobody notices. It's all right. Let it keep going. Spires 208. Shh. It's up 7 cents. Don't rock the boat. A Matterport up 4 cents. I don't know. More buyers and sellers today. Somebody likes something about ME. Somebody really likes something about ME right now. Or what? Wait for Matterport to hit 20 and write these mega fat covered calls. There you go. 722, the down dip on the Dow with 9 minutes to go. Anyway, there it is. There it is right there. I'm going to wait till tomorrow before I tell you what to do on Friday for Friday. I want to see how the market opens tomorrow, and let's see what gives. If GameStop wants to recover a little bit to 105, 108, 110, you might be writing 115s for Friday. You might be writing 111s, 112s, 113s. I don't know. We'll see what kind of volume we get, what kind of reaction we get, just where we're at here on this. And we'll take it one day at a time. But today was a day that the European market was coming on like gangbusters today. The European market was really improving this morning. It went positive just before we opened, and they had been down 500 points each. They were all getting shellacked, down 2-3%. The Dow futures were down 500 points on the Dow 3 hours before it opened. Within a half an hour before opening, the Dow was almost back even. Europe was going positive. I figured, hey, this is going to go right into our market. We're going to have an up move here. NASDAQ opened positively in the first 20 minutes. It was up. And then it all went away. And I can't explain why, but it just did. There it is. That's all I can say. Do what I can. Let's see here. GameStop lower. Can't see that. This is a play, waiting for GameStop to come back a bit. Bama, I am wrong. Am I wrong that I never write a covered call on a stock when it's going lower in price, only when it's going up, or do I write a covered call? You don't have to. You It's psychologically different. Okay, it's psychologically different to write a call when there's a stock having a down day. But if a stock is trending lower and you write a call and it keeps trending lower, you buy the call for less. Sometimes you have intraday scenarios where you write a call even though the stock is down $4 because the stock's going to go down $10 and you buy that call back out already. So there's that. It's not an easy thing to do from time to time, but you're going to have to get really nasty, a real tough disposition about yourself. You have to become very ruthless with regard to writing calls. You just write them and you write them. Now here I am talking somebody out of writing GameStop right now. That's what I'm doing because I'm thinking about tomorrow morning. The shares could have a pop of $5-6 a share, and then you're now looking at a rollover. Now, there's nothing wrong necessarily with a rollover, but what I don't want to have happen is someone write a call that's got 3 weeks to go, and they're now upside down on that contract. The stock is higher, and they're in the money on the damn thing, and all they're looking at now is writing a 6-week contract to get out of this 3-week contract. I try to avoid those kinds of traps. So is it a guarantee that GameStop's going to go up $5 first thing tomorrow morning? No. We could be down $5 more. Yeah, absolutely we could. But we kind of know the pattern of GameStop, don't we? We kind of do, and so we have to be careful. Zach sold an ME call for 95 cents today at the peak. $5 strike. I sold it October 21 expiry. My cost average is only 488. So even if exercised, I'm up $1.25 a share. I'll take it. Well, there you go. There you go. Kareem, Uncle Bruce, these trades you're talking about on like Matterport, isn't this writing when it's low, so you'll have to roll over for possibly? Well, again, everything's possible. This market is crap, says BW. Charlie, I feel like today is a day that will live in infamy. Come on, stocks, breathe. Bama Babe, that was a great question today. Thing about writing for Matterport to pop is it may not pop this year. It may not pop this year. I'm as bullish as anyone, but this war will take a few months. Add to that rate hikes and shortages. We'll be trading sideways a bit. There's always that. Maybe buy his classes, says 99 Nation. The credit. Obama Babe, this is why selling puts on GameStop is wonderful. Days like today get you at least $1,000. Yummy. Nice little premium. Got to get premiums, and that's what you want. Yeah. We are 5 minutes to go away from the close, and we're down 783 on the Dow. It's not getting better. Rocket Lab is down 2 cents. SoFi is down 39 to 961. GameStop down 1278 to 9888. AMC down 163, going lower. 156 lower. Matterport down 1 penny. ME up 30 cents. Spire up 6 cents. ATIP down 6 cents to 174. Smart Rent up a nickel. Sixtera down 53 cents. And there it is. Jennifer, Obama Babe, I've spent way too much time overthinking on down days and lost out on a right. I finally did it and it worked out. Sometimes you gotta just go for it. It's definitely hard though. I agree. Zed, the credit says, I'm trying to understand how you are bringing your average. How to understand how you are bringing your average. Uncle Bruce, could you explain? Explain how you bring your average down. Okay, so let's say you have, I don't know, let's say you have 1,000 shares of SoFi and you're averaging $15 a share on those stocks, okay? And you write $15 calls on your SoFi and you bring in, I think, what was I saying, $1.70 or something like that? You bring $1,700. You use that $1,700 to buy stocks of SoFi at whatever it's trading at right now, 970 a share, 960. So you're buying. Let's say you try to buy 200 of them. You throw a little money in, you buy 200 of them. So now you have 1,200 shares, right? And then you turn around and write 2 more call options against the 200 you just bought for another $350, which took care of the little extra money you put in to buy the second 100. So you now have 1,200 shares of SoFi in your hand. The first 1,000 cost you $15 each. The next 200 cost you $960 each. Okay, so blend it all together, right? You get 15 grand and about 1,900. That's $17,000 into 1,200 shares, right? You should be under 15 a share average, maybe 14 something average. So you've lowered your average on your cost, but you've put a call out there for $15. You put them out for 15, saying come and get me at 15. I'm averaging less than that. I'm just going to double check my number because I could be wrong on that quote. I might have misled you on that. I hate doing it. So let me just get off my lard butt here. Take a look. January 23s. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so January 15s will bring you about $1.40. I'm going to cut the difference. $1.40. Okay, so that's like getting $16.40. But just keep in mind, if you take the $1.40, that's $1,400. Okay, add another $350 to that, so make it about $1,800 sort of thing. It's $1,400 plus $400 is $1,800. Okay, you're going to buy 200 more SoFi shares at $960 a piece. What's that? $1,920. Okay, you had to actually add $500. Now you have 200 extra shares. You're going to write 2 $15 calls against those for another $280. So there's $280 of your $500 you just put up. So you just bought 200 more shares for $220 in cash. The rest is premiums from your existing stock. So now you're sitting on 1,200 shares that you're going to get $15 a piece for if you get taken out. And that's a big if. If the shares now trade between 960, 1060, 1160, 1260, 1360 in the next 2-3 months, they trade around here. They don't go very far. They just kind of trade around here. These calls will maybe go to 140, 150, 160, 170, but then back to 150. If the shares go back to 1150, 12, they'll go back to 140, 130. They're not going anywhere, but you've got to use the money in the meantime to bring your average down. On the other hand, if the shares do take a pop and they go to $16 a share, all right, your calls are now $1 in the money, right? You wrote them for 140, they're in the money now, but they've got, say, 7 months to go or 6 months to go, not 11 or whatever. They may well be trading at $1.50 anyway, but your stock is up $5, $6 a share, and you got 1,200 of them. So the thinking now is, okay, well, I'll buy back these 15s and I'll now write 1750s for the June 23. I'll just write longer term 1750s, raising my strike price by 250 on all 1,200 shares. That's $3,000 more to you if you get theoretically exercised. Plus the differential in cash, there may not be a differential, it might be just a break even. Shares go up to 1750, 1850. You're going to roll over now to $20 calls for January 24. But again, you're saying, take me out at 20 now. Okay, my average is 14. I'm up $6 on this stuff times 1,200 shares. That's $7,200 profit from where you are right now, a loss position. So, if you're $15 average right now at 960, you're down $5,400. On this scenario here, the stock goes to 20, wants to do that. You've written and rolled over and added stock. You're up $6,000-7,000 on this transaction. Thank you very much. That's a $13,000 turnaround for you. Obviously, if the shares do not go through 15, if they stay in that 11, 12, 13 range for weeks and weeks and months and months and weeks and months, we get out into June, July, August coming up this summer, and they're still at $12, $13. These calls will be 80 cents to $1. You can buy them back for a profit, and then roll into July next year's 15s again and take $1.40 for those. Add 60 cents to your pocket if you want. I mean, it's there's a number of ways to play this. We are closed. Larry, as I'm yapping away, the bells are going off, and mercifully, we've shut this thing down. Let's go back here. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Yeah, this is Bama Babe. This is why selling puts in GameStop is wonderful. Take those profits. Exactly. Hang on. I'm trying to remember where I left my last message here. Here we go. Okay. So Zed, if you bought SoFi at 10, your average is 10. But if you buy more SoFi at 5, it's the same amount of shares you had. Your average now 750. Let's see. Larry, again, thank you for the bells. Thank you, buddy. Let's see. Charlie, Uncle Bruce, care to look at the option chain for GameStop on puts? I am reading it correctly. Selling a 90 put for April 14 expiry is about $19. So I'm agreeing to buy it at 70. Is that what that says? Let me take a look here. I'm gonna take a look at GameStop for you. Let's go up here to GameStop. And we'll look at the puts on GameStop. Dow, by the way, ended up down 800 and 797. Okay, GameStop. And you're talking about April 14s, right? Okay. So let's go April. April. Okay, April 14s. The 90s is what you're talking about. $90 puts, right? Yeah, 90. Well, I'm showing a 10.05 bid. Um, I'm not showing. I'm not getting any ask here, but I'm showing a 10.05 bid. So automatically that means you're committing to pay $80 for the stock until April 14. If you're writing a $90 put, yeah, cash secure. So you would put up $9,000, write the put. You bring in between 10 and 11. I think you're showing 19, so something's not right here. Where are you getting $19 price from? Something is not right. Where am I looking at again? I'm looking at a 414 expiry from Charlie. Charlie, I'm not sure where you're getting that from because I'm showing a $90 put for 10.05 bid. I'm showing the call at 17.90 to $20, the call option. So you could write a $90 call option and bring in about $19, but you can't write the put option for $19. That would bring you about $10. So you might be confusing the one for the other. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Credit Savage is saying this is correct, but again, we're using the wrong number here, unfortunately. This is really informative session, Bruce. Thanks. Midnight. Well, that's what I do, my man. That's what I try and do for you guys. Let's go. Yeah, Cindy is right. I think it's 1063. Bama, I'm also showing 1005. Yeah. No, Charlie, you're probably looking at the bid on the call options, call options, instead of the put options. It's all right. Here we go. You can do it for June and get 18. Yes, you can. Charlie must have changed on me, and I didn't catch it. Glad I didn't do it. Bama, yes, Charlie's looking at calls instead of puts. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, you can write the $100 puts and get 15 bids. The 105 puts are $18, but then again, you're committing to pay 105, right? Here's the difference, right? Writing the 90s, you're agreeing to buy the stock at about $80. If you wrote the 80s, you'd get 650. You'd be offering to pay 73.50 for the GameStop shares. If you wrote the 70s, you'd get 385. You're agreeing to pay 615. These are just April 14 contracts. You can go forward in time and further out if you wanted. If you went out to January 2023 on a put contract, just for fun, you wrote a $90 put for January 2023, they would pay you $28.70 just on the bid. Call it $29. So you'd get $29 in to buy the stock at 90. You're paying $61 for GameStop until next year, January. Think about that. The $100 contract, you get paid $36 cash. Put up 10 grand, get 3,600 back, and you're on the hook for $6,400 on the GameStop. Got to use that $36 they gave you, though. I mean, just in mind, keep that in mind. But yeah, that's right. That's how this game works, my man. Yes, indeed. When do you write secured puts? When the stock is really down. When do you write covered calls? When the stock is up or falling. And so that's what we've been talking about, isn't it? Anyway, there you go. Credit Savage, I understand cost averaging. How do you use covered calls to reduce this option? I think I'll just explain and we'll rewatch tonight. That price for puts was still pretty fat, though. Yeah, okay, I didn't look at the graph. Contingent upon reading the graph right, you'd get that premium. Then you must read, sell, or buy and put a right or buy call option. Will get you cost yourself. Cindy B, 35. Oh, my God. Credit Savage, Zed, Uncle Bruce explained it well. You sell covered calls on SoFi and get a premium. You can wait for the stock to go down a bit and buy more shares then. This brings your average down. You can do that too. If that happens. Charlie, thank you all for helping me catch that. Thank you, Uncle B. You bet you, bud. No problem. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to play this thing. Options are free cash. I mean, they are cash that is being handed to you. In theoretically, you could go and buy SoFi. Again, let's just say the market is still open. You could buy SoFi at 962. That's the last trade on the stock. And you can turn around and then immediately write call options against this stock for $15 for next January, right? That's 9 months from now. And so you're offering the stock for $15 for 9 months. They're giving you $140 a share right now. $140 for every 100 shares you got. One contract, $140. Now, you don't do anything with that money. You don't put it into the market. You take the money and you write 10 calls on it and you bring in $1,400 and you use that to pay bills. Okay, but you can't do anything with those 1,000 shares until January of next year. But if they don't go over $15, you're not going to get exercised. So you still own the shares. If they're trading at, say, $11 in January, they never went to 15. You could write 15s for the next January and probably bring in $2. And that's another $2,000. I mean, this is just cash coming in from this investment for nothing. I mean, you're bringing $1.40 in right now. That's like 15.5% on your money just to buy this stuff for $9.62. I'm suggesting you could theoretically use it to buy more stock and write more options if you wanted to, or buy stock in something else. But if you've got 10,000 shares of SoFi and you write 100 calls for $140 a call, you're bringing in 14 grand. And if your cost of living is $5,000 a month, that's almost 3 months of your expenses to live, just by offering your stock for 9 months. Right now, if you own 10,000 shares of another stock like Rocket Lab or something, you write 15s on those, you can bring in 12,000 on those. Let's say there's 2.5 more months of life to live on. So now you put together almost 5 or 6 months of expenses from now. So this is the third month of the year, or you're up to September, all paid for bills, just writing against these two 10,000 share positions. And we're talking stocks that are under $10 each that are carrying the household for the next 6 months. Whatever you make the next 6 months is money you save or buy more product, more stock in, or whatever you're going to do. Or, if you've got, you've got a situation where you've got bills, you've got some debt lying around you want to get rid of, well, bring in some money from these stocks and pay off the bills and just sit on the paper with a $15 commitment on your part that you're prepared to take $15 a share from people for your stock. You're prepared to give it to them for 15. If you let it get exercised, obviously, it would have to go up first. You don't buy the calls back, and you let it get exercised. I mean, that's a lot of ifs that you may or may not go with. Zed, using profits made from premium uncovered calls to buy cheap shares, averaging down. Yep. Credit. Also, you can buy shares right then and there, and you'll increase your leverage. Now you'd be making more money if the stock goes up, and by writing additional covered calls, it's wonderful, really. Yes, absolutely correct. That is absolutely right. I mean, if you bring in a couple $1,000s from option premiums and you use that to buy Spire at 206 a share, there's 1,000 shares. Spire goes to $4. You just turned 4 grand of option money, 2 grand of option money into 4 grand of cash of value. And theoretically, if Spire goes to $5 or $6, or whatever. I mean, Spire's at $4. You can write calls on Spire now. You have 1,000 Spire. You can write 10 calls. So if you write 10 $10 calls for a year, you might bring in $1.50 on those. You only paid $2 for the stock, and that money came from option writing. Compounding and compounding and compounding your returns and growing your portfolio. Yeah, there you have it. This can be done. Just released. GameStop Corp, GameStop, or the company today announced it will report fourth quarter and full year guidance after the market closes on March 17th. 10 days. That's why we don't want to write calls. Uncle Bruce is right. I literally just did what he's been talking about today and made about 11 grand. I could have taken that money and paid bills or saved it, but I decided to sell GameStop put, thus making more money. And now, possibly, the stock might go up on anticipation of the earnings. Maybe. I don't know. 99.35 right now. We'll see how it does tomorrow. 10-day countdown for earnings on GameStop. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Okay. Yeah, guys. We're always thinking, always ways to scheme this. Option market is there for us to take advantage of it. As writers, it's a cash cow. And that's what we have to think about from time to time. How can we make this cash cow give me money? And at these cheap prices, I want to buy really cheap paper. Well, where can I get money from? Oh, I know. I can write calls that are long, out of the money, big premiums, buy cheap paper that I want down here. Good move. There are ways to make this pay. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. How did we do on those thumbs ups today? We got 182 in. If you guys can help me out with 18 more thumbs ups, we will hit 200 for this show. Hopefully, some of you can find a way to hit that thumbs up button for me, and let's pop that thing over 200. If you're watching on the rerun, please hit the thumbs up button every time you watch my reruns. That would be great too. I appreciate it. There we are, 191 already. Only 9 away from 200 thumbs ups. They're just flying in here. 193. Thank you. 7 to go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 202. There they are. Just boom, like that. Thank you, everybody, for throwing me enough to get over that number. Appreciate it. I will see you on this channel tomorrow morning on the Trader Alert update for Gold Bagel members. If you're a Gold Bagel member, one of these guys up here, you will be getting an alert to join me. Here we are. Join me. Usually I give you about 7 or 8 minutes notice. I don't give you much, but you can always watch on the rerun, obviously, on the community tab. But join me this tomorrow morning before the market opens. We'll cover what's going on, what's been happening overnight, and I'll throw you some trade ideas to kind of have you think about, get you ready. Otherwise, I'll see all of you tomorrow at, of course, at 8:30 tomorrow morning Eastern time. Uncle Bruce, I'm number 184. Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Walter. Oops, I forgot, says Drop Kent. Thank you, Uncle B. Thank you, Kent. Alberto, I'm only seeing 30,000 for January 2023 SoFi if I am going to write $15 covered calls times 200 contracts. There you go. Real talk, people. Uncle Bruce is legit, man. You guys have no idea how lucky we are to have our own personal portfolio manager available to us at 20 hours a week. Buy those classes. Thank you for the plug, my friend. I do appreciate it. It is very kind of you. Cindy, just go back and look up all the reruns. Smash the like. If you have a different Gmail account, smash them again. Thank you so much. Jeannie, thank you for the great show, Bruce. See everyone in the morning. Thanks, Joanne. Larry, have a good evening all. Same time, same place. You got it, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow morning. We'll see if we can make some money with this crazy market of ours. And we'll set up some more strategies to write call options and make money, or write cash secured puts and make money. We're easy going. We'll go either way on this. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll catch you then. Credit Savage, Credit Coach, I agree. Alberto, Larry, thanks for closing this bloody day. There you go. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Bye for now.